I'm Brianna, and welcome to my channel. Today you may notice that I have a full face of makeup on, and this is weird because I haven't done a full face of makeup in like years. I usually just do like a little bit of eyeliner and mascara because I hate the feeling of having stuff on my face. And I had recently bought, months ago, tinted moisturizer. Nope, I don't like it. I might just stick to like just having moisturizer, you know? Anyways, y'all don't really need to know that. That's kind of off topic. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about my spiritual awakening and how it's transformed me and my experiences. So yeah, let's get into the video. So my first spiritual awakening happened at about like springtime, March, April, May of 2020. So this was during quarantine. And before that, let me tell you, I was not in a good place. I had hit rock bottom. I hit rock bottom. And when I say I hit rock bottom, I mean it. I was not a good person. I was just not okay. I had a lot of anxiety, severe anxiety. I was depressed. I had lots of intrusive thoughts. I had anger issues. I couldn't control my anger. I would lash out at my parents, my family, sometimes even my friends, and I was a pathological liar. It was just not a good combo. I didn't know what I wanted to do in life. I was hopeless. And like, it took hitting rock bottom and being at the point like, I have to try something because like, this ain't working. Like, it took me to hit rock bottom to realize that. And I feel like that may happen to a lot of people. So, and I was like, let's try being a little more positive. Okay. Because I was like into astrology, right? I was dipping my toe into astrology then, like a little bit more than I had ever been in my life. And I was like, okay. And I am certain that I had come across some sort of video about like manifestation or mindfulness. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Oh, trigger. Oh, swearing. There's swearing here. Not for kids. I hit rock bottom and I was like, girl, there ain't nothing else I can try to do but try to be mindful, you know, like, so what I started doing was like, ooh, there's a knot in my hair, whatever. I have ADHD. So whenever I was like anxious, right, whenever I remembered that, like, or whenever I would remember to do this, I would do it. Jeez Louise, the words ain't coming out. So whenever I was anxious or whenever I would remember to do this, I would be like, stop for a second. I'd be like, okay, I'm anxious, or something along the lines of that. Whenever I recognized I was having like a sensation that was troubling, to say the least, like if I was feeling anxious or I was like feeling angry, I would be like, hold on a second, I'm feeling blank. And I would be like, okay, this is good. This is good. And I had started to do that. And the more that I remembered, the more it became like a pattern. And I do kind of have OCD, so it was kind of easy to make that a pattern because I would kind of obsess over it, but that's another story. So I was starting to do that a lot, and eventually becoming aware of these feelings made me have more control over it. And I think like a month, maybe not, maybe like a week or two into this, I was like, maybe a little more, I was starting to be like, whenever I did feel that sensation, I was like, okay, why? Do I know why I'm feeling anxious right now? And like, if there wasn't any reason, I'd be like, okay. And if there was a reason, I'd be like, okay, is there anything I can do to fix this? Or like, just take a deep breath. And that's really what I started to do. And I think the fact that I just did that whenever I remembered, and I was just like, I had no hope at that point. I was like, I had hit rock bottom. Like, this is what, if this isn't working, I don't know what is going to work. And I kid you not even like 2 months, I had already gained so much control over my emotions and like my anxiety. And I was already so deep into my spiritual awakening. Like, I was discovering manifestation. And I think in June or July of 2020, I had written like my first entry in my manifestation notebook. So somewhere in between there, I was like starting getting into that stuff. I really have like the mental strength to lose weight. I never had the mental strength to like go through with like a weight loss plan. And I had finally was like, yeah, let's do this. I think I started in May of 2020. I was like, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to do it this time. Like, I have nothing else to lose. This was a big push. Then this was like revolutionary to what I was doing previously. And I was able to do it. And, oh gosh, my nose is dripping. It's allergies, man. I'm telling you. I have bad allergies. Geez, 1 second, I sit near the fucking window and my nose is a dripping. Anyways, so where was I? Oh yeah, so I lost like, I don't know how many pounds it was by like December of 2020. I think it might have been like probably around 30, I'll say 30, 25 to 35 pounds I had lost around that time. And I was so much more confident, not because I had lost the weight, but because I was also working on myself mentally and I was becoming aware of myself and my thoughts. And yeah, everything like changed about me within 6 months of just practicing that mindfulness, that awareness of when I'm feeling an emotion and recognizing that and not being too judgmental upon that fact and just taking a leap of faith, you know? I had hit rock bottom and now my life had like transformed from there. I was so happy. Like, I was a totally different person and everyone around me was saying that. So I guess like I think around that time, my first spiritual awakening had ended. I think around the close of 2020. And from there, I was just freeballing, man. I'm enlightened after that. And that's not where my story ends. Don't worry. So 2021 was a good year. 2021 was probably the best year of my life. Like, I had so much fun with my friends. I graduated high school. I graduated with honors, which is crazy to me. Like, it's not, I've never really been like the best student. Like, my priorities typically lie elsewhere than school, like, you know, and I discovered what my true purpose is, like what I really want to do in life. I was so grateful that that happened to me so early on at like 18 years old, maybe earlier. And that's an incredible thing, right? The things that I want to do aren't things that people who aren't enlightened can understand. So there's issues with that. People around me are like, girl, what are you doing? Like, and I'm like, I have my own objectives. And it's like, you know that something is right for you and it's going to happen someday when you can't even imagine having a plan B, because you know deep down that that is what you're going to have. That's what your destiny is. And it's hard for people to understand that, you know? But yeah, so that is kind of what was happening in 2021. I was living it up with friends. I was really having like the best year of my life in terms of like friendships, repairing relationships, and those sort of things, right? And that makes sense, total sense, because I was in like a seventh house perfection year. If you're like familiar with astrology, when you're 18, it's your seventh house perfection year. It was kind of fun, kind of funky fresh. So it makes a lot of sense that I was like reevaluating, ooh, allergies, man, and having like fun with my friends. And that was what 2021 was. Like, I wasn't really that worried or concerned about how I looked, because like I was in like a stagnant period in between my weight loss. Like I wasn't gaining or losing anything. Like if you've gone through a huge change, you have that time period, I feel like. So I was in this period where I felt good about my body. I wasn't really worried about that. I felt good about myself, and I was just having fun with friends. I was enjoying life. Summer of 2021 was great. And yeah, that was good. That was a good time. And I was manifesting a lot of stuff during that period. All sorts of things like that. Like my life, little things were changing that made me feel hopeful. Like things got brighter in the world again. I don't know how like to best explain that, but if you have a spiritual awakening, the world will seem brighter. I mean, maybe not as brighter as it would have seemed when you were a kid, but maybe it's getting there. Then 2022 came around and I'm including astrology in this kind of stuff because I like it and it might be interesting to you. So 2022 came around. I have a February birthday, so pretty early on in the year I enter a new perfection year. So now I'm in the 8th house, perfection year at 19. And people say 19 is hard. It is. It's not even that far through 2021 now, but I'm like I'm at 2022. I'm kind of into it. I know what's going on. And this year, like, it's hard. I'm telling you that I've entered like another spiritual awakening period, I guess, like where I'm really trying to decipher like intuition versus like ego, and really trying to step out of my comfort zone, which is hard because like it's hard. I've been recognizing my fears and things that are holding me back, and I know them, but I've kind of been like in my comfort zone and then popping out a little bit here and there. It's really been like a jumble 2021, if like 2022. Gosh, I can't talk. But like I feel really like we're in 2022 feels like a really big pattern. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like the Wheel of Fortune, like you have your highs and your lows, and you learn at your lows and you manifest and are happy at your highs. And I feel like that's really, sorry, my hand looked weird for a second. You ever like look at your like hand or something, like, why does it feel like I have 6 fingers? That just happened like with my hand. It looked a little funky. But so yeah, what was I saying? So I feel like I've experienced like a lot of that this year, and it happens more, like the cycles aren't as long, like they're just short. Like it's kind of whiplash. It's kind of like energetic whiplash. And I feel like I've learned so much this year, and the year's not even done yet. It's only like September. It's almost October. Goodness gracious me. But like there's been so much happening, so much going on, and so many cycles that I've been going through. Like I swear, like it happens like every 2 days, not even, like maybe every day and a half, where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good. And then I'm like, oh, another fucking lesson. And it's happened so much so that like I think back to myself a month ago, or I look at a picture of myself a month ago, and I'm like, God damn, I'm a different person now. Like, not like totally different, but I see and I recognize the energetic differences. And I've been discovering more about myself. Like, I feel like I've been pushing out content for like the money aspects of it, the material gains, when I always do better and I always feel better about what I'm producing if it's something I'm passionate about and it's something I really want. If it's something I really want to help others with, then I feel better about it. And sometimes they do better, sometimes they don't, but I've trying to like push things out that I'm passionate about and do it because I like to do it, rather than just because the algorithm of YouTube or TikTok prefers it. But then also this year, 2022, I've been questioning my relationships and analyzing what I want in relationships and friendships. and what I'm okay with and what I'm not okay with. I realize that I know that I give 100%. I'm the mom friend, right? So I'm always the one who's planning things and making sure everyone's okay, and nobody extends that same courtesy to me. And I feel like that energetic exchange wasn't even. I've been evaluating my relationships and knowing that I need to be better about setting boundaries. And I think like recognizing that like my give and take situation, like the energetic exchange is just not it, you know? So I guess that lesson can really be applied to other aspects of my life or your life. Like, make sure that like if you're feeling drained by other people, it may be because like, or if you feel like someone's become distant from you, like think about like, is the energetic exchange between you guys even or somewhat even? If it's like out of proportion, that might be an issue you want to address. So that's really that. And I had made a TikTok about like some like things that you could recognize that'll happen to you, sort of hidden benefits of mindfulness, spiritual awakenings. And I'm going to talk about that now. Some things I've noticed. One, you glow up constantly, energetically and physically. I personally lost weight and then I gained some, and I feel like I still look hotter than ever. People around you will have spiritual awakenings. Like my dad had one. My dad's having one after me, which is crazy. You'll start to recognize a lot of coincidences, like angel numbers, then things will line up. Like you'll hear like recently I've been seeing and hearing everything about Alice in Wonderland, which is so random. And the other day it was like fucking corn, and yesterday it was like grapes. Like you'll hear little things about everything, and you'll get these coincidences. You'll become like more mature. Oh, there's that's my foundation. That's my tinted moisturizer. It's like the Tarte one, if you fucking care. But so yeah, so what the fuck was I talking about? Give me a second. Yeah, so you glow up and become like, you become mature in every way, like spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, I guess. Not really. I feel like I aged backwards kind of, but you know, like those things will happen to you. You'll be able to like recognize patterns in the world. You'll have so much more control over yourself and your emotions. And yeah, that's sort of kind of what happens during a spiritual awakening. Yeah, so that was this video. Well, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and if you like this kind of content, if you want to hear more about manifestation, you can check out my TikTok. The link is in the description box. The link is down below. And if you want to follow my Instagram, I usually like post like little spiritual like motivation on my story. And if you want to know more about my life, my Instagram is also down below. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have the day you deserve.